Welcome to Module 2, the South African Legal Framework for Whistleblowing. In this module, we'll explore the laws that protect individuals who speak up against wrongdoing and the duties of employers to ensure that disclosures are handled lawfully, fairly, and confidentially. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand that whistleblowing is not only a moral act, it's a legal right protected under South African legislation. Whether you work in a university, a municipality, a public entity, or a private company, these protections apply to you. Short pause before transition. Let's begin by understanding how South Africa's legal system supports integrity in the workplace. South Africa has developed one of the most progressive frameworks for whistleblower protection in the world. The foundation of this system is the Protected Disclosures Act, number 26 of 2000, commonly known as the PDA, which was later amended in 2017 to expand protection and strengthen employer accountability. But the PDA doesn't stand alone. It works alongside other powerful laws: the Companies Act, the Public Finance Management Act, the Municipal Finance Management Act, and the Prevention and Combating of Corrupt Activities Act, known as PRECA. Together, these laws promote accountability, transparency, and fairness in both the public and private sectors. Whistleblowing isn't only an ethical duty, it's a legal safeguard that protects integrity, honesty, and public trust in every South African workplace. Learning outcomes. By the end of this module, you will be able to explain the key provisions of the Protected Disclosures Act and related legislation, identify who qualifies for protection under the law, distinguish between protected and unprotected disclosures, recognize an employer's legal duties and the penalties for retaliation, and finally, apply these laws to real-world workplace situations. Warm conclusion. These outcomes will empower you to speak up safely, confidently, and within your legal rights. Why a legal framework? So why does South Africa need a legal framework for whistleblowing? Because ethical courage alone isn't enough. People need to know the law will protect them. These laws encourage safe and responsible disclosures, shielding honest employees from victimization or unfair treatment. They also promote good governance, ensuring transparency in the use of public and private funds. Use example with empathy. For instance, imagine a university employee who exposes irregular procurement practices. Thanks to the Protected Disclosures Act, they cannot be dismissed, demoted, or threatened for doing the right thing. The law and ethics work hand in hand, protecting the person who reports and strengthening the organization they serve. The Protected Disclosures Act, PA, purpose and scope. The Protected Disclosures Act, or PDA, is the cornerstone of whistleblower protection in South Africa. Its purpose is simple: to protect employees who disclose information about unlawful or irregular conduct in their workplace. The Act applies to both public and private sector organizations. Two key definitions are essential to understand. Employee. This includes permanent staff, contractors, and consultants. Occupational detriment. Any unfair treatment like harassment, demotion, discrimination, or dismissal because of making a disclosure. The message is clear. If you speak up responsibly and in good faith, the law will stand behind you. 2017 amendments to the PDA. The 2017 amendments to the PDA made the law even stronger. They expanded protection beyond employees to include contractors, consultants, and job applicants, recognizing that anyone can witness wrongdoing. The amendments also obligate employers to set up internal reporting systems and prohibit retaliation of any kind. They introduced strict confidentiality requirements, aligning with POPIA, the Protection of Personal Information Act, ensuring that personal data is handled safely and discreetly. In short, the law shifted responsibility from employees needing courage to employers being accountable for creating safe spaces to report misconduct. Conditions for a protected disclosure. For your disclosure to qualify as legally protected, it must meet three important conditions. Slow for emphasis. First, it must be made in good faith, meaning you act honestly, not maliciously. Second, you must have a reasonable belief that the information you're reporting is true, even if later investigations prove otherwise. Third, it must be reported through a legitimate channel. like your employer, the public protector, the auditor general, or a legal advisor. For example, a municipal clerk who reports irregular tenders to the auditor general is fully protected. Their disclosure meets all three conditions: good faith, reasonable belief, and proper channel. Think of it as a legal chain of trust: good faith, belief, correct channel, protection. Employer responsibilities. Employers have a legal and ethical duty to protect whistleblowers and handle disclosures professionally. They must develop a clear whistleblowing policy, provide confidential reporting channels like an ethics hotline or web portal, investigate each report promptly and fairly, protect the whistleblower's identity and safety, prevent retaliation, and ensure feedback is given to the reporter. For example, a company that uses an independent hotline for anonymous submissions and reports those cases monthly to the Audit and Risk Committee meets the standard for compliance and transparency. These steps don't just protect employees, they build a trustworthy, ethical workplace. Other relevant South African laws. The PDA is supported by a network of other laws that reinforce transparency and accountability. The Companies Act, Section 159, protects corporate whistleblowers, including auditors and directors. The Public Finance Management Act and the Municipal Finance Management Act require officials to report financial misconduct. The Labor Relations Act provides remedies for unfair dismissal linked to whistleblowing. And PRECA, the Prevention and Combating of Corrupt Activities Act, makes it mandatory to report corruption above 100,000 Rand to the police or Hawks. Together, these acts form a legal safety net, ensuring integrity across all levels of government and business. Consequences for retaliation. Retaliation is not just unethical, it's against the law. If an employer intimidates, demotes, or dismisses someone for making a disclosure, that's an occupational detriment. The employee can lodge a case with the CCMA or the labor court, which may order reinstatement, compensation, or damages. In one case, CFO, an accounts officer, was demoted after reporting irregular payments. The labor court ruled in his favor, ordered his reinstatement, and fined the employer. The law sends a powerful message: protecting integrity is not optional, it's mandatory. Investigation and feedback process. Every credible disclosure deserves a fair and transparent process. A well-managed investigation follows 5 key stages. 1. Acknowledge receipt of the report. 2. Pre-screen its validity and scope. 3. Conduct a fair investigation, interview witnesses, review evidence, maintain confidentiality. 4. Compile findings and recommend action. 5. Provide feedback to the whistleblower while keeping their identity secure. This process builds trust, because when reports vanish into silence, mistrust grows. But when handled fairly, credibility strengthens. Case study: Nomusa's disclosure. Let's meet Nomusa, a municipal finance clerk. She notices duplicate payments to a supplier. Something doesn't add up. She reports the issue through the municipality's internal disclosure system. A few weeks later, her supervisor starts excluding her from meetings and gives her a poor performance rating. Under the PDA, Nomusa's disclosure is fully protected. It was made in good faith through an authorized channel. Her employer must stop retaliation immediately, investigate the irregularities, and protect her from further harm. If they fail, Nomusa can escalate the case to the public protector or even the labor court, and the law will stand firmly by her side. Practical guidelines for employees. When you're ready to speak up, do it wisely and safely. Follow these practical steps. Keep factual notes and relevant evidence. Use official reporting channels, not social media or gossip. Stay calm and avoid emotional or malicious reporting. If unsure, seek advice from HR or legal advisors. And always act in good faith. The law protects honesty, not hostility. Remember, professionalism and facts are your strongest allies when raising a concern. Key takeaways. Let's recap what we've learned in this module. The Protected Disclosures Act is the foundation of whistleblower protection. The 2017 amendments expanded coverage and enforced confidentiality. Other acts like the Companies Act, PFMA, and PRECA reinforce integrity and accountability. Always report wrongdoing in good faith and through authorized channels. When you do, the law is clear. You are protected. Reflection prompt. Take a moment to reflect. Have you ever witnessed unethical behavior but hesitated to report it, maybe out of fear, uncertainty, or pressure? Now that you understand the law, ask yourself, what would you do differently? Knowledge builds courage, and courage inspires action. Integrity begins the moment you choose to speak up, not when it's easy, but when it's right. Transition to Module 3. Congratulations! You've successfully completed Module 2. You now understand the legal framework that protects whistleblowers and promotes accountability in South Africa. In the next module, we'll explore how to build a safe whistleblowing culture, one where reports are welcomed, managed fairly, and turned into organizational learning. Let's move forward to Module 3, building a safe whistleblowing culture and managing reports.